This magpie chick fell out of the nest and grew up next to a dog. Now the bird considers itself a dog. An adopted English staffy who formed an unlikely friendship with a lonely magpie named Molly has given birth to a litter of puppies. Peggy, the rescue dog, first spotted Molly close to death and abandoned by her parents in a Gold Coast park in September last year. Owner Juliet Wells from Coomera in Queensland tried to find the bird's parents but ended up taking the friendly bird. Her 1-year-old dog looked after Molly as if she were her own puppy, and with the help of Miss Wells, 45, and her partner Reese, 52, she made a full recovery. Now Peggy has given birth to her own babies, who've also taken an instant liking to the magpie. Miss Wells said she was initially concerned with what would happen to the pair when Peggy had her pups, but her worries were put to rest when she saw their bond grow closer and the pups befriend Molly just as their mother did. "Molly keeps an eye on the pups, it's just beautiful," she told ABC. While Molly is free to fly away, she often stays with the family, spending her time with Peggy and her pups. She's a wild bird, she has her own needs. It would be awesome if she met someone and had babies, brought them back here, and we'd have an even bigger family, said Miss Wells. With more than 44,000 Instagram followers, Peggy and Molly have fans from across the globe with what Miss Wells is calling their very own Winnie the Pooh and Piglet story. Miss Wells said she takes videos and photos while people are looking for positive content, and she hopes they can help the mental health of others to focus on the good in life. Videos of the pair have gone viral, with viewers looking for uplifting and heartwarming content during the COVID-19 lockdown. As a result of being cared for by the loving pooch, artist Miss Wells says Molly has picked up some canine habits and even started barking just like her best friend. She said they first noticed Molly barking earlier in the year. "We thought it was Peggy barking, but when we looked over at her, she was fast asleep. Then we saw and heard it coming from Molly. We started laughing so much because it sounded so much like Peggy, I couldn't believe it. So now she does it a few times every day, some days more than others depending on what's going on. If she hears other dogs in the neighborhood or a noise in the bush, she'll bark. I believe Molly thinks that's what you do to communicate danger because she's watched Peggy and is copying her behavior. Peggy looked at her when she first started doing it, but after that she's not fazed, she just thinks it's normal." Before meeting her best friend, Peggy the Pooch was terribly afraid of birds, but for some reason was very concerned about little Molly. After obtaining advice from a local wildlife specialist about how to best nurse the magpie back to health, Juliet said that Molly made a full recovery within a week. But after spending every day with loving Peggy by her side, the magpie did not want to leave, despite the couple persuading her to try to fly back to nature. Juliet said Molly became obsessed with Peggy and the pair became inseparable, saying, "We were taking Peggy for a walk when she discovered this little magpie that was all by itself. She looked really weak and not well at all. We didn't know what to do as we couldn't see the parents anywhere. Then we spotted them at the top of the tree, but they didn't want to come anywhere near her. She would have fallen from the nest and they abandoned her, which can sometimes happen. We waited for 2 hours, but they never came down. We know a wildlife specialist who told us how to care for her. She slept for the first 24 hours. We didn't think she was going to make it. We got her some live worms and a dropper with water, and within a week she'd picked up. We always leave all the doors and windows open and have tried to get her fly back into nature, but she has no interest in leaving us. We've been teaching her to try to catch her own worms and lizards, but she really thinks she's a dog. She runs around after Peggy. They have their own little language and talk to each other. It's so funny to watch. I've never seen anything like it. Animals are amazing." Ms. Wells said Molly became obsessed with their dog and even started producing breast milk despite not being pregnant. When the couple took the dog to the vet, they discovered it was because Peggy thinks Molly is her baby and was producing milk in the same way as if she had puppies. Molly kept poking at her nipples too, so for now Peggy's wearing shirts until it passes so her nipples are covered. It's crazy to think that this could happen, but it just shows their amazing bond. Ms. Wells said Molly does not seem to have any plans to fly away anytime soon and even sleeps at the top of her curtain rod in the bedroom while Peggy sleeps in her bed. They're together from the moment they wake up until when they go to sleep, she said. Then they'll cuddle and play all day. It's so lovely to see them together. They definitely have a mother-daughter type bond. Peggy needed something to nurture and this little bird needed nurturing. We're blown away by their relationship. They have brought so much joy into our lives.